Welcome to Traveler's Tales. I am your host, Greg Alonzo. Today I will be your guide through history as we take a look at the wealthiest man in history. Before we begin, just a quick reminder that we post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with special editions on Thursdays. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon to be notified each time we post new videos. Moving right along. Mythology tells us one thing, while history tells us another. Who was this man who is acclaimed as the wealthiest in history? Where was he from? How did he earn his wealth? Musa I was the 9th king or Mansa of the Mali Empire, which reached its peak during his reign. Musa is known for his wealth and generosity. He has been subject to popular claims that he is the wealthiest man in history. However, the extent of his actual wealth is unknown with any certainty. His riches came from the mining of significant gold and salt deposits in the Mali Empire, along with the slave and ivory trade. Musa was a young man, possibly in his early 20s, when he ascended to the throne. At that time, Mali in large part consisted of territory of the former Ghana Empire, which Mali had conquered. His empire consisted of lands that is now Senegal, Mauritania, the Gambia, part of Guinea, and the modern state of Mali. Musa went on Hajj to Mecca in 1324, traveling with an enormous entourage and a vast supply of gold. Given the grandeur of his trip, it is likely that much of his early reign was preparing for travel to Mecca. Among these preparations would likely have been raids to capture and enslave people from neighboring lands. Musa's entourage would likely have many thousands of enslaved people. Some scholars believe that estimates of some 6,000 people per year may have been captured for this purpose. Perhaps this is why much of Musa's early reign was spent in continuous military conflict with neighboring Muslim societies. Once Musa departed Mali for the Hajj, he left his son Muhammad to rule in his absence. It is generally believed that his procession included 60,000 men, all wearing brocade and Persian silk. He also took along 12,000 slaves who carried 1.8 kilograms or 4 pounds of gold bars. Musa's heralds, all dressed in silks, bore gold staffs, organized horses, and handled bags. It is believed that Musa provided all the necessities for the procession, feeding the entire company of men and animals. Those animals included 80 camels, which each carried 23 to 136 kilograms, which is 50 to 300 pounds of gold dust. Surprisingly, Musa gave the gold dust to the poor that he met along his journey. En route, Musa spent time in Cairo. While there, his lavish gift-giving was said to have noticeably affected the value of gold in Egypt and garnered the attention of the wider Muslim world. He did this by making lavish gifts to such cities as Cairo, Medina, and Mecca, to name a few. It was said of Musa that he built a mosque every Friday. Through such pageantry, Musa wanted to make a showing of his country's power and wealth. As Musa and his entourage traveled across North Africa and the Middle East, he became known throughout the Muslim world. To Musa, Islam was an entry into the cultured world of the Eastern Mediterranean. He also believed in fostering the growth of religion within his empire. Upon his return home, Musa expanded the borders of the Mali Empire, in particular incorporating the cities of Gao and Timbuktu into his territory. He sought closer ties with the rest of the Muslim world, particularly Mamluk and Marinid sultanates. He recruited scholars from the wider Muslim world to travel to Mali, such as the Andalusian poet Abu Ishaq al-Sahali, and helped establish Timbuktu as the center of Islamic learning. His reign is associated with numerous construction projects during part of the Jin Kabir Mosque in Timbuktu. Musa's reign is often regarded as the zenith of Mali's power and prestige. During his later reign, Mansa Musa embarked on a large building program, raising mosques and madrasas in Timbuktu and Gao. Most notably, the ancient center of learning Sankore Madrasa or University of Sankora was constructed during his reign. In Niani, Musa built the Hall of Audience, a building communicating by an interior door to the royal palace. It was an admirable monument surmounted by a dome adorned with arabesque of striking colors. The wooden window frames of the upper stories were plated with silver foil. while those on the lower story with gold. Like the Great Mosque, a contemporaneous and grandiose structure, Timbuktu, the hall was built of cut stone. During this period, there was an advanced level of urban living and major centers of Mali. Mansa Musa laid the foundation of an urban civilization. At the height of its power, Mali had at least 400 cities, and the interior of the Niger Delta was densely populated. We are not sure when Mansa Musa died. What we do know is that he had planned to abdicate the throne so as to live out his final days in Mecca. Sadly, he died before he could do so. This brings us to the end of The Wealthiest Man in History. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Traveler's Tales. If you like this video, please consider becoming a channel sponsor. Your support will enable us to continue putting out quality videos, and buying me a coffee always makes my day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Traveler's Tales. This really is the best way to help our channel grow. Until we meet again at the crossroads of folklore and fact, Kartistos.